Welcome to my channel TM Chitra Teacher. Today I am going to teach you all a thought-provoking as well as patriotic poem called Where the Mind is Without Fear, written by Rabindranath Tagore, who was an Indian poet as well as dramatist. This is one of the best poem in the anthology, that is a book which has a collection of poems. It's called Gitanjali, which was published in 1912 and won the prestigious Nobel Prize for Literature in the year 1913. Originally, the poem was in Bengali and later he himself translated it into English. This poem is written in the form of a prayer to God, so the true bearer of freedom. So he urges God throughout the poem with his mysterious concept of freedom from the struggle for awakening to his countrymen. So before I explain the poem, let's discuss the activities given in the warming up section. Pair up with your partner and match the terms with their given meanings. We have two columns. So in the column A, humanism, I have already arranged the column B. A rationalistic outlook towards humans rather than a divine or supernatural one. Patriotism will match with option C. Quality of being patriotic, vigorous support for one's country. Internationalism, state or process of being international. Liberalism, holding liberal views. Environmentalism, concern about an action aimed at protecting the environment. Let's move on to the next activity. Taking the help of a dictionary or the internet, guess and write the poem, type of poem against its description. So there are different types of poem along with the description, it's mentioned over here. The first one is a long story poem, often mythical. We call it as epic. A short story poem with a message, we call it as a ballad. A poem of 14 lines, we call it as a sonnet. A song-like poem, it's called as lyric. A poem with no uniformity of rhyme, rhythm, etc. So we call it as free verse. A poem set in picturesque, rustic background. Picturesque means it gives us a attractive visualization. So we call that as a idyll. Next we have a sad poem lamenting the death of a loved one. We call as a elegy. A 5-line short funny poem with rhyme scheme AABBA. We call as a limerick. A poem written just to create humor is called as a humorous one. Now let's start the poem. That is Where the Mind is Without Fear. So this is a poem which was written before India's independence, in which the poet sincerely wishes to God to awake his fellow beings, that is the people around him, for the realization that the need to live in a free and united country. He wants his countrymen to awake and enjoy their life with dignity and honor. As the poet has written the poem in free verse, so there is no rhyme scheme in this poem. So let's start with the poem. Where the mind is without fear and head is held high. So in these lines, the word fear refers to the fear inculcated in the minds of Indians under the British rule. So the poet is speaking about the miserable life led by people who were dominated by the British. So the poet visualizes India as a country where the people's mind are free from fear and they live a dignified life, that is a respectful life. So he also wants to convey that freedom can be attained only when the mind is fearless and the head is held high with respect and dignity. In the second line, where knowledge is free, the poet says that gaining independence would also give them the freedom to acquire knowledge and be self-reliant, which was restricted during the British rule. And he also mentions that knowledge should be given free to all. That is, education should be available for all people. It could be in any level in the society. In the next line, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls. Here they have mentioned the meaning of narrow domestic walls. It is already given in the textbook. Division on the basis of religion, caste, class and color in societies and between countries of the world. So the poet speaks about the various evils, that is the bad things which happened, that moved into the society at that time. So the British used the divide and rule policy by creating rivalries among different sections of the society. So in this line, narrow domestic walls refers to the walls of religion, race, caste, creed created by the people. So it may also refer to the various superstitious beliefs that still exist in the society during that time. So in the fourth line, where words come out from the depth of truth. So these word implies the meaning that the poet visualized his countrymen to live their lives with honesty and being truthful. That is, the poet says that in the India of his dreams, everyone should speak the truth and be sincere to one another. No person should lie for his own advantage. In the next line, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. So here personification has been used for the words tireless striving. So the poet says that one's goal should be to attain perfection. So every man should make an effort to improve himself and keep trying till he reaches a stage of perfection. So now let's see to the next line, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit. So the poet uses metaphor again for reason and habit. So here he refers to reason as a clear stream that is pure and not contaminated. But he is also speaking about the thoughts of people, which he says should be clear, noble, honest and free from all sorts of corruption. Dreary desert, sand of dead habit also refers to the evils in the society, like the superstitious practices that lack in logic and reason. So the poet says that people of his country blindly believe in their superstitions at present, and he would like his countrymen to question these beliefs through the application of logic. Now let's move on to the last three lines, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my father, let my country awake. So here he is directly talking to God. So in the third last line, where the mind is led forward by thee. So here thee means God. And in the last line he has mentioned my father, that too is, he has specified God. So in the last three lines, the poet prays to the Almighty for his guidance and support to attain independence. So he wants his countrymen to be led by him, that is by God, so that they broaden the outlook of both their thoughts and their actions. So if they were to do so, then India would be transformed into heaven, a heaven where all citizens would be truly free. Now let's discuss the questions given at the side of the poem. What does the poet pray to the Almighty for? The poet prays to the Almighty, asking him to awaken his country into a heaven of freedom, where the people are all truly free and total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good actions exist while respecting those of others. What reason and dead habit are compared to? Reason is compared to a clear stream and dead habit is compared to the dreary desert sand. Now the next question is, what does the poet wishes for? The answer is, the poet wishes that his country awakens into a heaven of freedom, where the people are all truly free and total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good actions exist. Now we shall do the activities given in the English workshop. In your notebook, write down lines from the poem as a proof for the following. So we have to get the proof from the poem. So the meaning is already given over here as a sentence. Tagore wishes for a nation where people are truthful. So from the poem we have taken a line which proves this line, where words come out from the depth of truth. The next one, the poet would like everyone to work hard to reach their goal and in the long run to reach perfection. So the line which has been taken from the poem is, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection. The next one, the poet wishes that everyone in his country holds his head high in dignity. The line which proves from the poem is, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high. The next one, the poet dreams of a nation where knowledge should be free to all. So the line which proves this statement from the poem is, where knowledge is free. The poem is a prayer. So we have two lines which proves that this poem is a prayer. Where the mind is led forward by thee. So here thee is God. So the poet is requesting to God. He is praying to God. Into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. Again over here, my Father is, instead of God, he has used my Father. So this is also symbolizes that, it proves that this line is related to the word which is given above. Let's move on to the next activity. Read the columns carefully and match the expressions with their meanings. So we have column A and column B. We have to match the expressions. I have already matched it for you all. You can refer to it. The first one is, the head is held high. A person with self-respect and proud of possessing it. The next one, narrow domestic walls. It means narrow-mindedness. Knowledge is free, means education is given to all. Depth of truth, sincerity of heart. The fifth one is, mind is without fear, means a fearless person. Sixth one, stretches its arms, means aim at perfection. Seventh one, clear stream of reason, means clear thinking. Eighth one, dead habits, means dried infertile land of sands. The last one, ever widening thought and action. It means broadening the outlook and attitude. Now let's move on to the next activity given in the textbook. Answer the following question in your own words. I have used some answers over here for your reference. Even you can write your own also. How is the world broken into fragments? The world is broken into fragments by divisions on the basis of religion, caste, class, race and color in societies all over the world. The next question is, explain what the tireless striving should be for. So the answer for it is, tireless striving should be to attain one's goals as well as to achieve perfection. The next question is, where words come out from the depth of truth. Explain in your own words. So it means when people speak truthfully and with complete sincerity of heart. The next question, who is thee in the poem? What does the poet appeal to thee to do? So thee in this poem is God. So the poet wishes God to awaken his country into a heaven of freedom, where the people are truly free and total freedom of good thoughts, good words and good action exist. The next as well as the last question in this part, which qualities does the poet wish to inculcate in his countrymen? So the poet wants to inculcate truthfulness, fearlessness, self-confidence, industriousness, rationality, and logical thinking in the countrymen. Now let's move on to the next question, 3b. Write in your notebook your own response and justify where needed. So first one, is the poem a prayer for India alone? The answer is, the poem is a prayer for India alone, but it is also relevant for countries all over the world. The second question is, what should the words we speak reflect? The words we speak should reflect our sincerity and truthfulness. The next question is, what should people keep on widening? How can it be done? The answer for it is, people should keep on widening their attitude and outlook. So this can be done by getting rid of prejudices, traveling to different places, and through education. Now let's move on to the next question. From what darkness of night should our country awake? So the answer for it is, our nation should awaken from the darkness of prejudices, diverse division of society, old traditional rituals and customs that are harmful, discrimination in imparting knowledge, insincerity, untruthfulness, fear and lack of self-respect. Now let's go to the next question. What attributes of Rabindranath Tagore does the poem Prayer reflect? So the answer for it is, the poem reflects Rabindranath Tagore's patriotism and love for his countrymen, his clear thinking, his broad outlook, his scientific attitude, and his emphasis on hard work. So the last question, what effect does the repetition of the word where at the beginning at each line, beginning of each line? So the repetition of the word where at the beginning of each line denotes the increasing intensity of hope and trust the poet puts in his vision. Now let's go to the next activity. Read the poem carefully and complete the table after the discussion in pairs. One is done for you. So one example has been done for you in the textbook. I have solved already and you can use it for your reference. Now we shall do the next activity, that is question 5a. Complete the following sentences using your own interpretation. So the first one, when the mind is without fear and the head is unbowed, we enjoy complete freedom. The next one, when knowledge is free, every citizen enjoys the right to learn and obtain knowledge. The third one is, we can prevent social injustice when we pull down the discriminatory walls of caste, class, religion, etc. The fourth one is, constant effort and strive leads to achieve our goals and perfection. The fifth one is, logical thinking and reasoning can put a stop to old traditions and customs that are harmful. The last one is, Tagore appeals to God to make his country a heaven where people have good thoughts, say good words and do good actions. Now let's move on to the next activity. Fill in the blanks. Students should keep themselves aloof from old harmful traditions. The next one, when knowledge is free, everyone will be literate. The third one, it is the social duty of every student of the modern world to uproot narrow-mindedness from societies. The fourth one is, students must develop broad outlook and attitudes. The last one, in the world of sycophancy, students must have self-respect. Now let's move on to the next activity. Find out the examples of metaphor from the poem. So I have 2 examples over here. So you can even get more examples from the poem. So clear stream of reason. Here reason has been implicitly compared to a clear stream, that is indirectly compared to a clear stream. The next one, dreary desert sand of dead habit. Here old habits have been implicitly, that is indirectly compared to the dreary desert sand. Now let's move to the next activity. Question 7. Almost every line of the poem begins with the word where, and it expects an idealistic country and countrymen. Now work in a group of 6 students and compose your poem regarding ideal school. Begin your lines with the word where. So I have an example over here for you. You can use this for your reference, and even you too can write such a beautiful poem related to the topic which is given over here. The next question is a speech writing. Imagine that you have to deliver a speech on the occasion of Independence Day or the Republic Day in the school premises, that is in the school assembly. So prepare a speech to deliver on India of my dreams. So my dream India. Respected principal, teachers and my dear friends. Today, 15th August is the day India won her freedom. At that time, the citizens of India, of free India, had many dreams for their country, some of which would have certainly come true. I often think about my dream India too, and I would like to tell you something about it. In the India of my dreams, there would be no poverty. Every Indian would be able to live a comfortable life. Every single person would be literate, and the pursuit and acquisition of knowledge would be open to all, irrespective of caste, creed or religion. Corruption eats away a country, and in my dream India, there would be no corrupt people. Truth and sincerity would reign. The large population will turn out to be an advantage. We will be using renewable energy resources more and more. Every man, woman and child would be able to hold up his or her head with dignity and self-respect. India will be a superpower, but unlike the current superpowers, India will always lend a helping hand to the developing nations. There would be no need to have a police force because there would be no crime and no criminals. Everyone would be happy and content. This is my dream India in brief, and there are many more things I would like to add to this list. I will certainly do my bit to make my dream come true. Thank you. So this is a speech which is an example. You can even add your own dreams too along with this speech, or you can write your own speech, but you can use the points which are given in the textbook to write the speech. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please click on the like button. If you find it useful, share it to your friends and comment, and please subscribe to this channel for further updates.